So this has taken me 10 years to nail this interview. And I'm chatting now to someone who I'm a good friend with, but I'm sure you know her as well, very well. I'm sure you've seen it on social media. She's created something so special in this city that we all know and love. And I'm talking about Laura's Little Bakery, celebrating 10 years. The face, the brains behind it all. Laura, how are we?
I'm good. I wouldn't say brains. I don't know what you'd call it. Determination, creative mentalness, but definitely not brains. Sorry it's taken me so long to chat to you properly like this.
Finally got you on. You must be so proud, though, Laura, to create such a well-established and well-known brand. And it's taken 10 years to get where you are now, and you've had a fantastic journey as well, haven't you?
Yeah, it's I mean, to think that it's 10 years is just unreal, to be honest. That day taking out samples in the boot of my car, you know, I wasn't trained whatsoever. I just had 6 months experience of just baking for family and friends. To think that that's turned into a successful business is unbelievable, really. And yeah, I am dead proud. I think, you know, sometimes it's a bit difficult, isn't it, to say I am proud of myself, but I really am. I'm dead proud, because there's been a lot of highs, but there's been some lows, as you know, as well. And I feel like I really fought back from them. So I'm dead chuffed with myself.
There has been loads of highs. We're going to talk about all them. Let's get the bad stuff out the way first, because it isn't easy, is it? It certainly isn't easy doing what you do. You know, you're a one-person business, if you like, aren't you? Yeah. What has been the struggles, the main kind of struggles that you'd look back on?
It's really tough running your own business. I think a lot of people, especially with what I do, baking, they tend to go, oh, I'd really love to do that. That, you know, what an amazing, lovely thing that must be to do. And yes, obviously doing something that you love is brilliant, but, you know, it comes with a lot of struggles. You know, 17-hour days, 6 days a week is pretty tough. Then you've got all the icky stuff like accounts and whatnot. And then obviously, you know, I'd jumped into a unit a few years ago, and that was extremely tough. And I have to say, I think there was a point there where I was rock bottom. I remember, I'll never forget this day. I was waiting for a cake to be picked up, so I had money to go and buy stock, because I was that rock bottom with money. And it was so tough, because I felt like it was the right decision at the time, but I just wasn't prepared for it. I really wasn't prepared. So you live and learn, don't you?
You do.
It was definitely a learning curve. And I would say that I've built myself back up again, and I don't think I'd really go down that route again.
In terms of baking, Laura, when did you kind of realize I can do this? I'm decent at making cakes and baking and coming up with the designs. When did you know that you were good at what you do?
Do you know what? I think it was the first time I baked. It literally was 6 months before I started Laura's Little Bakery, that my eldest daughter, who's now 19, said, you know, would you bake me some cakes for my birthday? And I was a bit like, oh, if I have to. Wasn't really a baker, you know, didn't really like cakes, you know, wasn't really a big cake eater. But made them, and they turned out amazing. And then I just got a bit of a baking bug, really, and I was baking all kinds. And then one of my friends just turned around and said, you know, maybe you want to look at doing this as a career, because as much as we all love you feeding us, you know, you should be doing this properly. So that's what I did. Yeah.
And the rest is history, as they say. There's been a few moments over the past few years that I've got you some press, and you've been quite outspoken. I'm talking about Mr. Simon Cowell in this instance. Tell us what happened there, and what you think back now about that situation.
It was right. Obviously, it was the right thing to do. In the early years of Laura's Little Bakery, I did do some freebies. But I learned very quickly that they get you nowhere. You know, you'd have the promise of, you know, oh, this will be great PR, this will be great, you know, exposure for your business. And when you're kind of starting out, you know no better, and you think it would be a great way to get, you know, more customers, but it just does not work out like that. It really doesn't. So, you know, I don't regret that. And I stand by it, and I do it again and again and again. Thankfully, I don't have that many requests these days. I think people know that much about me. I'm not really one for giving freebies like that. But yeah, that was crazy. That really blew up.
Certainly did. Have you ever been in contact with any of them, with Simon, Carl, or anyone? We're talking, of course, when they ask for free cakes, and we put your name everywhere if you can bake us a load of cakes for free, which does happen so much. I see it myself every day. Did you ever hear anything back from them, from the team there at ITV?
Yeah, they call me in a bit of a panic, really, and which, oh, you know, we would have paid you and this and that, and we're really sorry, and next time we're in Liverpool we'll give you tickets for this and tickets for that. And I was just like, no.
Yeah, I'd rather just crack on. Yeah.
So, because I'll never understand it. They're a company as big as that, with that much money, why they feel the need to do that. I'll never understand that, you know.
It's funny, I haven't seen many situations like that since you outed them. So it's obviously worked what you've done there. Independence in this city, Laura, you're a real champion for local indies, and you do some great work in terms of shouting them. You've got great links in the city with the independents. What's your message to them right now? Because obviously it is so tough out there, isn't it?
It's incredibly tough. You know, it's kind of every day another business seems to be closing, and it's heartbreaking, to be honest, because I have a lot of friends, and I love me independence. A lot of us started around the same time. There was a scene that just seemed to start all at once, but I'm sure, because you know, they're all quality, they're all strong, you know. They will come back. They will, and the whole city is waiting for them to come back. Do you know what I mean? And as a city, we all pull together. So I've no doubt that will happen. But how you deal with that in the meantime, I just don't know. You just got to stay strong, haven't you? You've just got to stay strong and be prepared for when you do come back to smash it.
We've got the likes of Murray doing incredible things. Mowgli, which has created this incredible brand now, starting in Merseyside right across the country. So many independents. I don't think people realise, do they, when they take things for granted a little bit in this city. But we have got that scene, like you mentioned, which other cities just haven't got.
No, we're very community driven. The whole industry is a community. You know, we all look out for one another. I know when I did this donate a cake thing, I had a lot of independents wanting to bring me in for like a meal just to say thanks for, you know, what I'd done. And I was like, absolutely not. Yeah. There's no way I could take free stuff off anyone. Like, but that's the type of people, you know, we are in Liverpool, isn't it? And we do all just stick together, you know, because we know how hard we all work.
Well, this year's it's been challenging for everyone. To me, and I know I'm your friend away from all this as well, but I've seen you smash it, and you've done some incredible things in 2020, and you've made that brand even stronger. Let's talk about the early days of lockdown and the pandemic. You were creating like NHS Hero cupcakes and delivering them to key workers and stuff, weren't you? How did you get that kind of strength to power through early days in 2020?
Well, a day before lockdown, my partner Tom had literally done his last day in work, because we'd made the decision a month before that for him to come and look after our baby full time, because I just couldn't cope with Blake and the business. So yeah, we both just stood there and went, oh wow, what are we gonna do? Like, we had no income coming from him. As far as we were aware, I wouldn't be able to work. So I just decided that I was going to start a delivery service, and I'd do these treat boxes. Basically, a week later, I had 50 boxes piled outside on the wall, a driver ready to take them around Liverpool. And that's that. That was the whole of lockdown. I literally worked 17 hours a day. I barely had any days off. But as far as I was concerned, I was so lucky that I could carry on working and carry on paying the bills in my house, that I was just purely driven by that. It was, it was for my family. And, some amazing, amazing things come out of lockdown. I met some amazing people, linked up with some incredible charities, Owen McVeigh Foundation being one of them. So it changed my life, to be honest, through lockdown. I had a a very kind of crazy experience. Hard.
Yeah.
Spent a lot of it with alcohol by my side. Powering me through. But I had a lot of realizations, and it changed me.
Then we started something else, Donate a Cake, and there was a big reason why you've launched this. You've done a tweet which went absolutely viral, and you explained your story so well in that tweet, and that led you to Donate a Cake. Just tell us what happened and why you started this.
Well, obviously, we've got Marcus Rashford at the moment, who's absolutely just a hero, isn't he? He's incredible. And I was reading some of his tweets after the government decided that they weren't going to supply these vouchers during half term and whatever. So, I was seeing through his tweets, what could I do personally, and I was thinking, well, I could donate. That's fine. But then I was thinking, what could I do as a business? And the Donate a Cake just came straight away. And I thought, well, that's what I'm going to do. I sat there and I thought, I can't remember as a kid having a cake for my birthday, which is quite sad. I can't remember ever celebrating my birthday as a kid. I had a rough childhood, to say the least. So I thought, that's what I can do. I can bake a cake. I can donate it to a child who doesn't normally have a cake for their birthday. And that's what I'll be doing. So it's just absolutely kicked off. I've got 130 bakers who also are going to donate cakes.
Wow. We've
got nearly £4,000 in a GoFundMe page, which will help us to continue donating cakes, and a lot of things behind the scenes, which, is going to be incredible. So it's all, quite mind-blowing, really. And if I think about it too much, I'd get upset.
You've done something incredible there, and it's a simple idea when you think of it, but it's one of them ideas that you probably only think of at the time when you see a story you relate to. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing, Laura, that you're doing there on top of all your other work. And hats off to you. That's going to grow and grow, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I hope so. Because, we're doing things where we work with social workers and safeguarding teams. So we'll be donating individual cakes, but we're also doing a thing with schools around Merseyside. I've got my first one this month, where I'm donating a big cake for a year, for like a whole year, so that they can all celebrate their birthdays together for the birthday, for whose birthdays it's been that month. Because obviously at the minute, kids are not celebrating birthdays like they used to. And this way, it kind of includes everyone. There's no child getting excluded, and they all get to celebrate together, which I think is actually a pretty awesome idea. So that's another thing that we're doing with it, which is just really, really boss. So
brilliant. Where can we donate, Laura?
For thousands, cake for thousands of kids everywhere.
Where can we donate for this? Where can we get info?
So there's a GoFundMe page open. You can find that. There's links to it on my Instagram page and my Twitter page and Facebook. So there's links to it there.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, listen, we'll share all those links so people can donate as well and keep supporting that. What's next, Laura? You've done so much. But my big thing for you is I want more sticky toffee pudding because that was seriously the nicest sticky toffee pudding I've ever had in my life.
No one really buys it. I'm so sad.
Beautiful. What is still to come? What do you want to smash next? And where do you see yourself now in the next few years?
Well, my main focus, I've got to say, is just donate a cake for the time being. Obviously, my normal orders will always, you know, come in, I hope. But donate a cake is something that I really want to put a lot of time and energy into, because I think it's dead important. Probably the most important thing I'll do as a business. So I really want to focus on that. Anything else, I'm happy for it all to just grow pretty organically. I'm not going to force anything. I'm not going to set up a unit anywhere or a cake shop. I'm just happy for it to just, you know, grow as it always has done, quite organically. And yeah, just that's the way I want it to go.
And she never said more sticky toffee pudding, which I'm a little bit annoyed
and more
about.
sticky toffee pudding, Jay, always.
Thank you. Just finally, you know, you've got tons of stuff. The Christmas boxes that you're doing with the Christmas cakes look incredible. Just keep on Laura's Instagram page, because the pictures of what you can get delivered to you and order are fantastic, and she does keep you up to date as well. Finally, Laura, just advice for anyone watching, anyone who's thinking of setting up a business, maybe similar to yours, or anyone now, an independent business who might be feeling the impact of what's been happening. What would you say to them?
In terms of setting up a business, go for it. You know, why not? I did it. I never thought it was possible. I didn't think I'd ever achieve anything, you know, at all, never mind what I have achieved. So sometimes, you know, life's too short. You've just got to go for these things. You know, it is tough. Be prepared for hard work. You know, it's a rocky road, but no pun intended, but it's you know, it's well worth doing. It's been the best thing I ever did, and bar my children. So, you know, it's you've just got to go for it, haven't you? You just got to, you know, life's too short, go for it. In terms of businesses that are suffering at the minute, what do you say? I think it's very, very difficult. I'd hate to be in their shoes, but, you know, hopefully I'll be supporting as much as I can. Hopefully everyone else will do the same, and be there for them when they're open again, hopefully in a couple of weeks.
Fingers crossed we all get out 2nd of December. Keep ordering these cakes. Laura, you haven't just built up an incredible business and brand in the city. You do so much for local independence as well. So well done on that. And yeah, I can't wait to see what's next.
And you, Jay, thank you.
Thanks for chatting to us, Laura.
Thanks, Jay.